On this edition of Game Shack, we're now into August of 2024, so I'm going to kind of give you guys a recap of what I think's been important up to now, including that brand new 4K announcement from AtGames and the 20 game cab from Arcade1up. All that and more coming up next. Hey everybody, welcome on back into the Game Shack. I am your host, JDV for Evil Genius Entertainment. Thanks for stopping on by. It really does mean a lot to us. If you can give us a thumbs up, it really helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell if you have. Right off the bat, let's talk a little bit about AtGames, give you guys my opinions about the announcement yesterday. If you haven't already seen, Michael B does the best breakdown of everything that you can learn about this machine, but the long and short of it is that you can still order the tricked out version for the full price that comes with the SSF kit, everything that the machine can do, topper, all that kind of stuff. That's still going to be available from AtGames. But if you order one directly from their website, from their warehouse in China, and you just get the single game version that doesn't have OTG, doesn't have a topper, doesn't have any other than a title game, so that'd be ADDAMS Family or Attack from Mars, you can get that price all the way down to, I think, $11.99, which of course was the introductory price way back when the year started. And let's talk a little bit about that. So the latest firmware just came out yesterday or today as I record this episode, and essentially what it allows you to do is play Godzilla, the new Godzilla pack, and it recognizes the fact now that OTG is kind of an upgradable thing when you buy their lower tiered pinball games. The thing it really doesn't address is lag. The lag is still there. Now again, the lag is not like it's crazy. It's not like bip, flip. I mean, it's like blip, blip, the blip. I mean, it is half of a heartbeat, as I like to say, but it's still there. And that is a big disappointment to me, because I would have thought by now into August they would have had this sorted out. Because it's not completely sorted out, that tells you that it is a very big, deep issue. It is an issue with Unreal 5. I think that's been confirmed now by Mystery Encoder, and let's just face facts. We know it was not going to be an easy fix when it wasn't easily fixed, right? So it is a concern to me. I don't know if they're going to have to go back to the same engine that ran FX3, or if they're going to have to give up that Android wrapper or whatever, but it is something that needs to be sorted out, because even though I give this machine a glowing review because the hardware, the looks of it, it's all amazing. If you can get this thing for $11.99, even without a topper and some of that other stuff, you're still getting a heck of a machine. Even if you have to buy the OTG upgrades and things like that down the line, you're still getting a heck of a machine. Even if you're buying this thing for 2Gs, you're getting a machine that you cannot buy anywhere else for that price. But part of the main reason why you're getting this is for access to those Zen games, and almost all of those Zen games have some kind of lags. So that is something that they really do have to fix, or this is going to really, I think, hurt the company's reputation, and it's going to hurt the sales viability for this product going forward. Okay, so let's change tracks here a little bit, talk about that Midway Mortal Kombat machine that's going to be available at Costco. Almost 2.5 years ago, I predicted that Arcade1up would go to the 20 game arcade machine, and sure enough, they did. But did they do it 2.5 years too late? Time will tell. Now, obviously, this game is not for the dedicated home hobbyist who wants to try to replicate the look of a real arcade machine back from the day. But let's be honest, if you have any Arcade1up sitting on a riser, that's not arcade real, right? Realistically, if you don't have an XL, it's for sure not arcade real, because it's way too small. I think that there's way too much attention paid to that by people. I'm not someone who has to have it look exact. I just want to look sweet. I want to have a retro vibe and feel to it. And I want to have a lot of games on it, and I want those games to play well. And I'm very happy that Arcade1up now is going to the 20 game arcade, multi-cade type setup, because that is where I think that they should have been all the time. So supposedly 13,000 of these things are coming out to the big box stores, and that is good, right? Because eventually we will see that price down. Again, I don't think that this is a $600, $500 product. To me, this is a $400 product. No Arcade1up realistically is worth more than that. Maybe something like a Tron, if it didn't die, Dragon's Lair, you know, you can make the argument for some of those specialty type cabs. But in the generic type of multi-cade setup where you're just getting a trackball and a couple of joysticks, it's really hard to say, yeah, but it's got a 19-inch screen. A 19-inch screen costs them about $5 more than a 17-inch screen, maybe $10 more. I mean, so you're not talking about a whole lot more resources in terms of screen. And of course, you get to use a little less MDF when you have a bigger screen. So far 2024 has been the year of AtGames. They are, of course, doing pretty good work with their pinball. It is still a work in progress and does need some tweaking here and there, but fingers crossed they will work out that lag. And fingers crossed, if you're interested in getting one of these but could not afford the $1,500, $1,600, but you can afford $1,200, then this is your way to get into this machine, and then you can upgrade as time goes on. I do hope that Arcade1up sticks around and sells all 13,000 of these cabs, and not for $99, although, okay, I would buy one for $99. It's not for me, really, but I can understand why some people would actually love the product. I hope the product is tough and doesn't fall apart in people's hands after a couple of days, the way that my Tron did. Still a little butthurt about that. The one thing that I would say that we haven't heard anything about from AtGames is the fact that we haven't heard anything about their 4K ALU. I am getting a feeling that maybe that's not going to happen because, of course, they are putting out a new version of the ALU. It's still going to be the HD, but it's going to have that new chipset that is in the pinball game. So you are going to have a totally new UI. You are going to have a new games lineup, at least somewhat new. So I'm very, very interested in the ALU because I'll just tell you that ALU is still the king of my home arcade. Even if you did not get into CoinSop X, it still has a boatload of great games and really is my go-to two-player game just because of the size and build quality. All right, guys, let me know what you think down below about this new announcement from AtGames about their 4KP. Do you think that they should continue to support the HD out or sort of let that go way of the dinosaur, or no, they owe it to the people who bought that machine? And how do you guys feel about that Arcade1up announcement with the 20 games? I think it's overall, generally speaking, a positive sign. The art is pretty, you know, not great, but hey, I'm sure there's going to be people like Game On Graphics and Retro 360, all those guys, Joe Sable, are going to have some pretty sweet stuff for it. So again, it does give you a chance potentially to upgrade that product going down the line. Let me know below what you guys think. I really am interested in hearing what you say. Again, I hope I'm going to have a review of that new Godzilla table for that, and I am going to give you guys my top 10 greatest spinner virtual pinball games next week too. Okay, so take a look at that. Love each other, and until next time, I see you guys in the Game Shack. Mwah!
Be sure to visit EvilGeniusEntertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.